Yeah. Back for round 2, baby.
Yes.
Now I'm a little bit more experienced now. I was nervous last time, but I'm ready now, baby. I've been here before. Uncle Joe in the house, y'all. Uncle Joe is back.
Hey, yo, welcome back to Union Street, the podcast. I am Union Jackson. This is where we have the most interesting conversations on the internet with the most interesting people in the world. You already heard him. I got him. I got Uncle Joe back with me, y'all. What's up, Unc?
What's up, Neff? Good to be back and loving every minute of it.
How's everything been since the last time you was here, Unc?
You know what? No complaints. No complaints at all, man. Everything has just been blessings, bro.
Word.
That's all I could say, you know.
You enjoying the heat?
Am I enjoying the heat?
We kind of in the middle of a heat wave.
No, I'm not enjoying the heat. I'm staying the hell out of it. Like they say, that's too much heat for me, baby, you know? But yeah, man, everybody stay safe, stay hydrated out there. It ain't no joke.
Word. Last time I brought your name up on the pod, I said, Uncle Joe got hoes, and you told me to watch my mouth. You told me to keep that.
Yeah, yo, keep that down, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, you try, nah. Nah, that's not the case.
That's a misunderstanding.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, man.
I didn't have the power then,
Okay.
but now I got the power.
You got the power now.
Yeah.
What's up? How does that feel for you?
Yo, man, it feels great, man. It feels good to just be under control. You know what I'm saying?
Let's move this down
So many people.
So they can see it. Good.
Yeah, so many people. You know, they get into a relationship, man, and they, you know, I mean, I'm guilty of it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get all in love and shit, you know, and you know, I mean, you know, I just.
What does that look like? You having the power and keeping the power. What does that look like?
Okay, so what it looks like is that having control, meaning not trying to dominate nobody or whatever, but having control, what I mean by is knowing what you're doing compared to going off instincts or impulse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, it's more like you know you a skilled marksman at it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm loving it. Like last time I told you, last time I was here, I was like, well, you know, I just want one woman in my life because one woman, you know, for me, can be every woman.
Right.
But things have changed.
Hey, yo, real quick before we get into that.
Changed.
I don't know if y'all remember, I always tell a story about how a period in my life, it was like real tumultuous, and I was going through a lot. I had experienced a lot of things that a child shouldn't experience, and Uncle Joe was the person that stepped in and saved my life, that took me away from the things that I was going through. And that, not only that, but for a lot of reasons, he is a very, very important person in my life. You know what I'm saying? One of the, I guess I could say you like my idol, I guess, man. Like a role model. You know what I mean? So yeah, we don't gotta get back into all of that, but because
No, I want to stay here. Keep going.
yeah. So okay, yeah. You rescued me from a situation that was, you know, we see stuff like that and hear stories about kids that experience abuse, and it could get bad for them. You know what I'm saying? And I guess I'm not a real spiritual person, but I do believe that there is a higher power. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I really feel like maybe God sent you in at that time to really save me and take me away from that situation, because we don't know how bad it could have got, because I remember how I responded to it initially, and the things that I was wishing for and the things that I was hoping for that wasn't actually it wasn't healthy to be thinking that way as a child. You know what I'm saying? And you came in and you took me out of that. So for that, the people that know me know you and know how much I appreciate and love you.
I be hearing that on the show too. Like, how's Uncle Joe? What's up with Uncle Joe? Right? Like, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, man. But let me just say this. right? First of all, y'all was always my kids before mine. I was practicing with y'all. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep it on you basically for this part. It was more or less that, you know, my love for the children of my brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as y'all have grown, I've seen so much reciprocation of that. Like, as much as I've given, as much, like, when you talk about the things I did for you and you say I saved your life and everything, it's amazing because, like, the impact, I didn't realize the impact that I had. I was just being me. Like, I was
Right.
just being your uncle who always showed you that he loved you because your father loved me, and we know about that story, right? We gonna get to that, right? Did you ever mention that in the show? We gonna get to that. But anyway, it was that same thing because growing up, like you was like an extension of me. The one thing I never worried about you was in
What's that?
school. I never worried about you getting beat up or bullied. I was so proud. But anyway, nah, man, it's just that love that extended from your grandmother. You know what I'm saying? And you know, just for you to be my brother's son, and you know, watching you grow and seeing you do silly, idiotic things when you was a kid, and I
Yeah.
came and chumped you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scared you into. See, you didn't have to go to the thing. That when y'all
Scared
was in
straight.
school, scared straight.
Nah,
you had
nah.
me, baby.
Word up.
So yeah, man, that's what it was, man. For the most part, like, you know, you was my own. You know what I mean? The blood that flowed in your veins is mine. You know what I mean? Like, you followed my footsteps as a baller. You know what I mean? I don't know if you tried singing. You know what I mean?
Oh
But-
no, I'm trash. I'm trash. In the
But-
shower, I'm that guy, but
No
actually,
doubt.
yeah.
But yeah, man, for the most part, it was just all about that love, man, and you know, for you to give me that love and how you express yourself about the love you have for me and the things that I've done for you, man. It was only that family love, man. That's the only way I can express it, is about, like, I did not ignore you. I put
sure.
time in with you. I spoke to you. I spoke to you in ways that this is survival, because we came from the gutter. You know
Sure.
that. We came from the gutter. And so I just did my part.
In a major
That's
way.
what it was.
In a major way.
Yeah.
Like I said the other day that when we sat down and we spoke, what was that? Yes, 2 days ago? I don't know. It was recently, and I said much of a man is the example he sets for his children, and the example that you set, like I said, it helped me to be more of a stand up guy, more of a just focusing on my character and my ability to be a great person because of the example that was set for me. And that's a large part of the reason why I attempt to set that example for my nephews and my sons. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because you did instill in me
Right.
a lot of the characteristic traits. Because it's like, oh, like, this dude is honest, hardworking. You know what I'm saying? He has his flaws. I honestly, you mentioned something to me that I never ever saw before. Like, I knew you smoked cigarettes, but you said you used to drink. I never knew you drank before. I never
What?
I never knew none of that. Like
What?
that. Yeah. And
Man, I told you, what? Yo.
bro, I promise you, Uncle Joe, I promise you, I never saw none of that. I never, like, I thought, I always have only thought that your only vice was cigarettes.
Nah. Let me tell you something. I used, but I didn't abuse. I was very casual.
See, that's
You
news
know what
to
I'm
me.
saying?
I never
because
saw that.
the people that I was following now, you know what I mean? If you see them now, you'll see that they didn't just use, they abused.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
November 7th, 1989. And see, we was gonna get to this because remember when I told you it's gonna be the revenge show,
Right.
Because it's coming back to me, right? I broke up with this bitch. You know what I mean? It hurt, King. It hurt, right? So back then, see, I can't start telling you nothing. Can I finish first before you? Yo, anyway, because now I know I can say what I want on the show, right? Okay, now we getting ready to get into the real shit.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, you know, November 7th, 1989. Yo, without preparation, man, she gave me the boot.
Oh, word.
And that was the first time somebody ever broke up with me, man. I thought I was holding my own, but so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go get fucked up, yo. So I went and drank me some Wild Irish Rose, you know, frozen on the rocks. Went and smoked me some weed, smoked me a joint of dust. And then, right, yeah, cause I was trying to go out. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, I was really like, if ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you, I'm gonna feel sorry for myself. You know what I mean, right? So, yeah, so I got smashed, right? And you know that park? It's a little basketball park that's Armstrong and Van Nostrand, and you could cut through right there,
Yeah.
sitting right there, right between Martin Luther King and Ocean. Yeah, right. It was that park right there. I sat, and I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I thought it was my conscience, but it was God, right? And it's like, damn, my conscience was just saying, Joe, why is you doing this? And I was like, because everybody else is doing it. And then my conscience, which was God, was saying, then that's not a good enough reason, dude.
Right.
And right then and there, I never got high again. Like,
Right.
I never, you know, used narcotics again, like weed or none of that shit. I still drank, though, like beer and stuff like that.
Damn,
So-
that's news to me.
So that was that, right? Because what came to my mind after that was, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show this bitch who I really am. I'm gonna get my shit together. Because back then I was working dead-end jobs, loading trucks and shit. I remember me and your Uncle Greg and your Uncle Pop, God bless they soul, we was working at this company across the bridge, like over by the jailhouse and shit, loading trucks and all that shit, man. I was all tired, man. It was a dead-end job. I was like, damn, man, I ain't got no fucking future. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, damn. I was like, damn, how can I get into a racket and get me some money and shit? And I'm telling you, man, I started thinking about some crazy shit, right? Because I was like, how about if I talk to the devil, like, to be successful for a little while and, like, you know, get my soul, you know, like, sell my soul, but then when he come for it, like, take my shit back, like, you know, cut out and everything, right? Because I was like, yo, I heard about it, like, all these stars and shit, like, they sold their souls to the devil, and they, like, multi-million and billionaires and shit. I was like, yo, why can't I get my slice of the pie and shit? But
You was about to sell it.
but King, hold on, wait a minute. It's a moral to the story. Yo, let me finish. So it was just a thought, but I snapped out of that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? I snapped out of that. So that didn't happen. So I just fucking struggled and, you know what I mean, begged, borrowed, and stole and shit. You know what I mean? Until I could make my way. But by the grace of God and shit, here I am. You know, retired and happy. But like I said, getting back to that, you know, yeah, I got my shit together. You know, got me a job. Like after that episode, about a year to a year and a half later, I got my job that I retired from, and if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't be talking to me here. I'd probably be somewhere 60 plus, loading trucks and shit, seeing you say, I mean, you got $2, you know, all that kind of shit. But man, you know, I mean, God has truly blessed me, man.
Right.
You know, my daughter said that for some reason you just was chosen for something.
Word up.
You
I
know
agree.
what I mean? Because that's why I'm still here. You know, as you know, I'm the last leg of your family on your father's side, and you know, I'm here for that purpose. I guess I'm just here to. I believe part of my purpose is to connect y'all to y'all family.
For sure.
You know what I mean? But the experiences that I've been having, like, out of all of the luck or misfortune that I thought was misfortune, wasn't misfortune at all. It was lessons of survival.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it was lessons that at the time that I thought that was hurting me and devastating me and trying to destroy me, actually it was lessons to build me.
Right.
To build me, to give me knowledge and experience. You know what I mean? And when I think about it now, when I look back at all of the misfortunes that I had, or you know, all of the challenges and trials and tribulations, some things that didn't go my way, you know, I have a profound and very grateful understanding about why. And it all starts with learning what when you get that knowledge comes to you, awareness, right? Learning what awareness is, because that's the first leg of anything that you become a master at. You become aware of it,
Right.
you know? And then once you become aware of it, you get knowledge of it. Once you get the knowledge of it, you have that wisdom of it. And then when you got the wisdom, brother, you can see the future.
Right. Is that how what has been the biggest lesson in your life that you could just say, like, just offhand, that you could say, like, this right here has taught me the most about who I am and the person that I've become?
Quick answer, letting go.
Okay.
It's letting go, because see, let me tell you something. When I reflect back, right? Let me tell you something, King. I had so much potential. I had so much potential to be something and someone greater than I am now. You know what I'm saying? For my own personal, right? I was very talented at several things.
Right.
But you know what? Like the knucklehead that I was, I self-sabotaged myself. I self-sabotaged myself by spending too much company with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? Believing in things that were so false. You know what I mean? People that I had so much loyalty for and with, and not realizing how they was knifing me in my back like that. But your cousin Barry told me the best. He said, it's just that you had so much love for people that it didn't affect you because you love them more than they love themselves. So that's why you didn't see it, or it didn't affect you, because just like you said, see, your cousin Barry said the same thing you said. He said, like, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the man I am without you.
For sure.
And he said the exact same thing. He said, I never saw you out here staggering, like you were so high and all of that staggering. He said, I never heard about you being beat up, jumped, and roughed up, and all that. People after you. I never saw you being shot at, stabbed up, or none of that. He said people that you know or whatever, like everybody. It was always like, hey, Dicko JL, Dicko Joe Lewis. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, I mean, that's the kind of, I guess, you know, that's the way the village was. We all greeted people and was happy to see each other. You had those haters though.
Oh,
you
for
know
sure.
what I'm saying?
I can
you
imagine.
had those haters, and we're gonna get on them too. You know what I mean? Because that's why they still miserable. Because see people out there. Let me see that cam. Where's that cam at? Is that it right there?
Yeah, straight in front of you.
All you people out there that's still suffering, let me give you a jewel. You still suffering because you refuse to submit. Okay? Hear me clearly. Once you submit, meaning take accountability for the fuck shit that you doing, you'll get better. Okay? Take that and it should help you. You're welcome. Now, back to right?
Yeah.
Where was I, King, before I went to that?
Oh,
Yeah,
you
it's so
said
much,
that Barry. Shout out to cousin Barry. Shout out to
yeah.
Barry.
And then and like you said, you know, I guess because I was the exemplifier. You know, I was the one who was the example. And then when I got married and my kids came along, and then I got one daughter. Now my daughter is like the CEO of my family. Like, I mean, I love all my kids the same. They all the same, but they all got their little component on how I love them. But my daughter is by far the CEO and the most intelligent child that I have. That's the CEO of the family.
Right.
She's the leader. You know what I mean?
Shout
I
out
leave my
to Vaughn,
legacy to
yeah.
her. But anyway, right? I say that because she just follows suit. She just, you know, I'm just so proud of all three of them. I'm just so proud because they didn't give me any troubles, no heartaches or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like they was the polar opposite of me. You know what I mean? They went to school the way they were supposed to go.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Never got left back. Like me, I'm experienced that left backness. You know,
It's tough.
you know.
That hurt.
I mean, I was bright enough to, you know, go through school like a scholar.
Right.
You know, like a Rhodes Scholar. I had that shit, but you know, I just wanted to follow the crowd and be cool and all that shit. And you know, it got me like, you know, all kinds of F's and all that shit. And so, and then back then I was like, all right, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? The damage is done, so I might as well continue to fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I finally grew up, and then I finally had a family and everything, and I started realizing how, you know, important education was, especially when I started working for the board and seeing them little fucking kids that when I left, they was in the fucking kindergarten, and now they fucking principals and all that shit. You know what I mean? Trying to boss me around and all that. But I told them motherfuckers, look here, don't say shit to me because you're not under my union, and don't come fucking with me because whatever you doing is what you do, and whatever I do is what I do. And that was it. But I had a good career at the board, even though I was underpaid and all that shit.
Underpaid and overworked. Shout out
But
to Jersey
believe
City
me, I
Board of
made up for
Education.
that shit in other ways. I'm
Oh,
not
no,
going to say
no,
on
no.
camera. You know what I'm saying? yeah, that's it.
Oh,
but
man.
but like I said, man, like you know, just spirituality, man. Learning what spirituality is and believing in something. I do believe in a higher power. I do believe that there's a creator of all things. And I don't debate anybody's religion, but I'm telling you, if you don't have any spirituality in your system and in your life, I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you the facts. You're gonna be one fucked up individual.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
You know,
Agreed.
and that's for sure because I listened to your show about when your co-host asks you, you know, do you think you better than anybody?
Mm-hmm.
And then you pause for a minute and you was like, you know what? Damn right, yeah, I'm better than some
Right.
people. You know what I mean?
For all the reasons that all the things that you instilled in me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like like you said, I took the baton and I ran with it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't fumble it. A lot of who I am is me upholding the things that you instilled in me and just wanting to make you proud. You know what I'm saying? So that was always important to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people a lot of times, like if we sat down and we just talked about the things that I remember most throughout my life, most of my greatest and most fondest memories come from my time spent with you.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot. I promise you, man. Like the time you gave me your check and you was like, count that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The time you made that cake, it was your first time making a cake, and it was eggshells in it.
Yo, listen. Any try defeats a failure. You know what I mean? Any try defeats a failure.
I
I
swear.
fucked up a lot of food in the beginning. I fucked up a lot of food. But now, you know what I mean? I mastered that shit. You know? So yeah.
So
But-
just things like that. It's all good stuff, funny stuff. You know what I'm saying? You cutting me off from Bart Simpson and Beavis and Butthead.
Oh yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yo, listen, coming to school for you regularly, yeah, man. I remember, and then that was the
shit.
thing. That was the thing about making them crazy faces. Like, fuck you. I came in there. I was like, yo, I mean, if I catch you watching Bart Simpson and that fucking Beavis and Butthead, I'm gonna bust your ass.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
And then
fact.
you like the Fresh Prince. I was like, sing that song.
Word up.
Sing that shit.
Heard up. Twice a week I was
Well,
I was there.
I was like, oh man. But you know what? You know what, King? I told you what I regret. You know what I mean? Like, I used to leave you home on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
like I said, King, I always made sure you were straight.
Facts.
So I could make my run across the water, you know. But I checked on you,
For sure.
made sure everything was good. But
a
you
fact.
know what I loved about you, King? Like, you was rolling with that shit, yo. You
Word
did
up.
like you know what I did for you? I gave you. I think I was like, in a way that I didn't tell you, but I was like, yeah, boy, all right, this is how you live like a bachelor.
Right.
You know, I left you out. You had your
that made me self-sufficient in
independent.
a lot of ways.
That's right, man.
Word. I've
Yo.
always been low maintenance. I didn't require a lot of instruction.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? And that come from my time spent with you. I didn't, for the most of my life up until that point, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I was a kid. I wasn't expected
Yeah.
to know. But it just made so much sense for me to do and live the way that I was living, because it was like, yo, you trusted me. You spoke to me. You, like I said the other day, you saw me like a person. Like, you saw me as a person. And it was like, yo, this dude coming from that to this is like, yo, like, damn, he treat me like a person. He respect me as a person. He see me as a person. So I was like, I don't want to let this dude down. I want to show this dude, like,
Yeah, man.
the stuff that
I
he's
was
doing
up,
is working.
man.
It's right. You
I
feel me?
was on. But you know what? Know what I mean? It's just that I have to go back, man, to something, man, that you really touched me, man. Like, really touched me. I had got this phone call and you said, are you home? And I was like, yeah. And that's when I was living on Bergen and Grant.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, okay, well, Unc, I'm about to pull up, but I need to talk to you. And I was like, is you all right? And you was like, yeah, Unc. I said, all right, is you gonna come in? Cause I could buzz you in. He said, nah, I'm pulling up right now, I'm right outside. So I came outside. And you said, just want you to know that I just completed my training and everything. I'm gonna become a firefighter. I'm graduating such and such and such and such. And I want you there. And I just want you to know, I could not have done this. This could not be me without you. And then I paused, man. And I'm telling you, man, like it can almost, I'm gonna keep my composure right now. But the feeling, and you heard what I told you, I was like, I mean, man, you giving me too much credit, man.
No.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I was like, man, I was so touched by that, man. Like it, man, for you to do that. And then when I came to your graduation and saw you, you know, man, I was so proud, man. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, man, like, is that really part of me? Like,
For sure.
is that part of me?
For sure.
And it was just so beautiful, you know? And like, I'm never the one, I'm never so arrogant that I pat myself on the back, because every so often I talk to my kids. Like for instance, Junie, right? That's my youngest son, Junie, Joe, right? I said, Junie, I regret that I didn't put more time in you to get through school and train you, you know, because they fucked you over in their basketball program at Lincoln. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing I regret. But you to me, you still came, you as an adult, you still a beautiful child. You know, you still respectful and loving and caring. And I'm still proud of how I raised y'all. And my son said, Dad, hold up, pause. I said, pause. He said, Dad, you the greatest thing that could ever happen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, ain't no dad like you, you know? And I'm gonna tell you a story, right, about my son, right? He played on his basketball team. His friend, one of his best friends, right? He was the point guard for his team. And I used to go and coach them. And this kid, this point guard, I would coach them from the bench where I was sitting at. Their bench was right across me, but I would be coaching them from on the other side, telling them what to do, right? And this kid followed my every instruction. But the point that I'm getting at him about was that he had this kid named was Petey, right? And Petey had a pretty Puerto Rican girlfriend, right? And Junie, you know, hung out with him, right? And Junie was like, damn, Pete, man, I wish I had a beautiful girl like yours. But you know what Petey told Junie?
What's
Petey said, Joe, Big Joe, fuck that, man. I wish I had a father like yours.
Right.
Man, that shit, man, that really choked me up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when I asked Junie, I said, Junie, do you know the impact of that? That boy said, fuck a girlfriend.
Right.
He wish he had a father like you. Meaning his father wasn't, you know, I never met his father, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say anything that I don't know. But I was just telling my son that it's so many boys, young boys, without their fathers. You know what I mean? And then they see, even when I was growing, I was like that. You know what I mean? Like it was another man. It was another man that raised me. Your grandfather didn't raise me. You know what I mean? Like so. You know what I mean? I didn't learn like, you know, your grandfather never saw me come to swim, never saw me come to play. Because before I ever put a ball in my hand, I was an elite swimmer.
Right.
You know? But anyway, like I said, it's just the point of that compliment, just for that to be mentioned was like powerful.
Right.
You know?
A lot of times what people don't understand is like boys need fathers and boys want fathers. You know what I'm saying? No matter what like people say or whatever the popular thing is to say and accuse. Like
Right.
boys want fathers, you know what I'm saying? And it was like that was the example that was like my pops wasn't the worst person in the world. You know what I'm saying? It just so happens his situation got the best of him and he was absent for a large part of the time. And you was that example because kids that do want to do and be active and be supported, like they want to, you know what I'm saying? And you provide that a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? The life lessons, the coaching, you know what I'm saying? Just the love that comes from a father and a male figure that's, you know what I mean, that believe in you. That works wonders on a young boy's psyche, you know what I'm saying, and his emotional center, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It makes for more grounded men you know, and it's just appreciated, and it just it's world changing.
That's right. And let me just say this. Let me refresh your memory from when you was a kid, right? Do you ever remember me telling you, right? I used to come to you and tell you, I mean, regardless of your father's flaws, your father loved you very much.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I knew that.
For sure.
I knew that. And like I said, yo, he chose his path.
Right.
He chose his path. You know what I mean? But I knew he loved you, and you know he loved me. Because let me just bring that out. About one time I thought I was a criminal, like tried to be like Big Bruh. And, you know, next thing you know, I was following one of my other brothers with his boys, and they was career criminals. And we got caught up on a Saturday night where the cops took us to the youth house, and I thought I was cool. And the next day, which was a Sunday, you know, we got up and I saw my big brother, Lonnie, you know, AKA Hassan, his dad. And I was like, yeah, what's up, Haas? You know, yeah, we gonna run, yeah, you know, we gonna run this, I'm representing. And soon as I got close enough, and I'm talking about, it had to be about 60 people out there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And your father came from Louisville and slapped the shit out of me, yo. He slapped me like I was a bitch that owed him money. I was so embarrassed, bro. I was so fucking embarrassed. But your father said, yo, motherfucker, this place ain't for you. Ever let me see you here. And that was the end of my criminal career, yo.
Necessary.
That was it. But, you know, before your father, you know, passed away, and when, like, as I grew up to become an adult, your father used to always tell me, it's like, damn, Joe, I'm so proud of you, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so proud that you my little brother, because everybody knew Joe Lewis.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, and I was proud of, like, I love my brother too, and I was, no matter what his flaws was, you know what I mean? I still I loved him too. Because you know what? I was a part of that.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then when y'all came, but we just gonna stay on you. You know what I mean? Because you his boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was proud of you. And I was just as proud.
Right. I wish he was here to see it, man.
And I used to always tell you, like, you know, you got, cause I could see a lot of me in you right now. But I always told you got those fucking Henderson eyes. All y'all Henderson got those fucking eyes, man. You know what I'm saying? Ask anybody that know y'all, anybody that know a Henderson, y'all all got the same damn eyes. But yeah, man. Look,
Yeah, I miss him, man.
love is love, man.
I got a couple memories with him. You know what I'm saying? I wish I had more. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, at the time when he passed, I hate to say this, but like it really didn't affect me in the moment. It really started to affect me years down the line. You know what I'm saying? When I started to hit my stride, and you know, when I became a firefighter, before the firefighter, when the twins was born. Obviously, I wanted to meet all of my children, but when the twins was born, it was like that really hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just wish he was here to see it. You know what I'm saying? I know he's with me. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, love is love, man. I love him and I appreciate him for everything.
Yeah, man, because he came and got me one day, right? He was like, yo, you know. No, he came over here. He came over here and he made his rounds, came to see everybody and everything, right? And then when he had got back, he said, yeah, Joe, I want you to come and, you know, check out my spot, right? So I was like, all right, I'll be over there. So I'm saying to myself, damn, like, he over in the Bronx and shit, probably in some kind of like hole in the wall apartment and shit, right? Yo, King. First of all, I was like, okay. The stop the stop that I had to make to get to his house was Gun Hill Road. I was like, okay, this right here, shit right here is spooky in itself, right?
Gun Hill.
Yeah. And whoever is from New York, so all right, so boom, lo and behold, he told me how to get there, which train to catch. Boom, and he was waiting for me. And we went to the crib, yo. And I'm gonna tell you, when I walked in his crib, I was like, oh shit.
Right.
This is nice. You know what I mean? He had a picture of Ethan up there. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
Ethan was a newborn.
Right.
Right? And I'm like, oh shit, yo. This is nice, man. Nice and clean. Shit was nice and clean and immaculate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, now I got somewhere to hang out in the Bronx.
Word up.
You know what I'm saying? But man, the journey that your father and all your uncles, we had, like, starting from your grandmother's teachings, how I watched her. She only had a 3rd grade education,
Right.
but the way she can make something out of nothing, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
How she made sure we survived and all that. Brother, one thing I can say, we didn't grow up with a bunch of wealth and money, but we had a bunch of wealth and love, yo. Our cups ran over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just so grateful, even though she passed on when I was very young, 18 years old. You know what I mean? Like, she set a beautiful, strong foundation within me. You know what I mean? Like, I can only speak for myself. Like, especially the most important first lesson of all, knowing right from wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, I did some really mischievous shit, some sneaky shit. Because I was the one, out of all your uncles and everybody, I was the one that got the most ass whoopings. Because I was the hard-headed one. Like we lived right there. When we was growing up, we lived right there on Ocean, on Ocean and Bramhall. Right across, directly across the street from St. Pat's Church. Mm-hmm. And she said, yo, don't take your ass no further. If you want to go play, go over to that park. To Arlington Park. Uh-huh. And I was about 8, 9 years old back then, right? And then, back then, fucking neighbors were snitches, yo.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody snitched, said I was all the way up on Fulton Avenue. So I came over. She said, "Yeah, where was you at?" I was looking for you. I was like, I was like, "Mom, I was over in the park." Like you said. You said, "Don't." Yeah, I said, but I went over there. I was calling you. I said, but Mom, I was over there by the projects and everything, by Arlington Projects with my boys. You know what I mean? I said, yeah. Well, that's funny. You must be a fucking magician, because I was told your ass was up on Fulton Avenue. Cow. You know what I mean? So it was all right, But yeah, man, just that love and protection, I was protected. But like I said, when it came to y'all, because out of all of my brothers, I was the last one to have a family. Because everybody was like, yo, Joe, what you wait? Nah, man, fuck y'all. Y'all just... y'all just busting and shit to be busting. No, motherfucker, I don't want my kid. I want to be able to at least buy a gallon of milk and shit. Right. Y'all niggas just, y'all just freaking. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny.
I was like, but everything turned out all right. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Everything turned out all right,
Big
man.
time.
But yeah, but I'm so grateful, King. I'm so grateful to all of y'all because, right. Like I said, I never pat myself on the back, but I do hold the distinction, right? Mm-hmm. That I am the favorite uncle. Everybody be like,
Right.
Uncle Joe is that dude. So I'm proud of that,
And
man. I love it.
I want to talk to that. I have a great appreciation for the love that you had experienced and the example that it set in your life that allowed you to set that example for us. But to speak to that, like as the lone standing pillar in our family, you know what I'm saying, and to how does that affect you in any way? Does it weigh on you a lot that you are considered basically all of our favorite from Nifa, from me to Nifa to Barry to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm only speaking my truth,
Okay.
right? And I'm not being arrogant. All of y'all out there in TV land, I'm not being arrogant.
Right.
But these are the facts. When it comes to my family, I am royalty.
That's a fact.
I didn't ask for it. You know what I mean? It all just came naturally. Because I can't really put my finger on it to say what the facts are. All it comes from, is the fact just that I loved y'all. Mm-hmm. And for some reason, from the time y'all was born, from when y'all was children and growing up into adults, the only thing that, that I could come up with about it was, as y'all was growing from children, it was just something profound that I created a profound memory
For sure.
for y'all. From when y'all was children
across the
all the
board.
way up to adults.
Across the board.
Because the fact of the matter is, I did make my rounds with y'all. I spent time with y'all. I played with y'all. If y'all was bad, I chastised y'all. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I even smacked some of y'all up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that comes only. The only explanation I have for it is just the fact that, I created profound memories for y'all. Good memories.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Good memories. And know what? That makes me feel even more blessed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because what you said, before about when we was living together, when you came with me, the most beautiful thing that I loved about what you said was you felt protected.
Right.
You felt like you felt like you was in a home. You know what I mean? Like you felt protected, you felt comfortable, you know what I mean? And you felt love. And that's what it was all about.
Right, for sure.
Like I told you, right? The government, I went and got what you was entitled to. Motherfuckers only gave us, $162 a month. I was like, yo, motherfucker, keep that. Can I get the food stamps? You know what I mean? I could take care of the rest, but give me the fucking food stamps and shit. They didn't want to give me that. So, no, you make too much. No, I don't, motherfucker. It ain't for me. It's for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But yo, nothing but love, man. Nothing but love, and everything just the way everything turned out. How like when I talk to y'all and y'all birthday and y'all tell me how old y'all is, man. Like
Word.
I be like, what the? Hold up, hold up, nigga. You was just born.
Yeah.
I just saw you. I was just holding you.
Right. Right. Uncle Joe, how old are you?
64, bro.
64, man. You look amazing, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Thank
look
you,
good.
King. I feel
Right.
amazing, bro.
Hey, so with that, right? Hey, listen, we all love you. We appreciate you, right? We respect you. You are our favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, sir.
regardless of what, no matter what time period, you've always been our favorite. But we got to move on to the most important thing, one of the more important things that we could ever talk about today.
Let's get it.
The power.
Let's waiting for this. Yo, King, I got the power now, man. And I'm going to keep the power.
Tell me about it.
And first of all, I want to apologize to you for always calling you, because every so often I'll call you and like, yo, King, I don't want the power no more. I love her. Mm-hmm. And then about 12 days later, I'll call you and say, yo, King, man, I'm sorry and shit. I'm going to keep the power once I get it back and shit, because we broke up and shit. She wasn't shit. You know? But nah. Seriously, speaking about the power, what the power is to me, the power is confirmation of you having control of yourself.
That's a fact.
To not worry about what somebody thinks or what somebody does that does not have anything to do with you. That's where I've been, in my past, I made so many mistakes. Because I ain't going to tell you no lie, right? Like, I ain't going to say, like, I'm a sex fiend, but I love the pussy. You know what I mean? I love the huh? It feels so good when I bust. Now, King, you said I could say what I want. Yo, that pussy's so good. I had a bitch I couldn't stand, but I dealt with that shit because that pussy was so fucking good. Right? And then, like, it's just, I had came to a point where I learned that, you know, your self-worth is way more valuable than any other person or any other piece of pussy, and for the women or any other dick. Love yourself.
Right.
Love yourself, right? And for a long time, like I said, like when I was out here, King, and thank you, God, for sparing me. I'm healthy. I just did all my doctor shit. I'm yo.
Same.
My paperwork is coming. I'm gonna show everybody. That my shit is legit. No AIDS. None of that shit. I'm healthy, so I can continue to fuck. You know, I like going raw. You know what I mean? Yo, condoms be holding me up and shit. But you know what I mean? I'm gonna continue. You know, safe, practice safe. That's just with with your regular partner. You know what I mean? But practice safe sex. But anyway, damn, I lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? Damn.
All right, so real quick, while you catch your breath.
Yeah.
Me personally, I agree with the power comment, right? For me, the power is about pretty much the same thing. Just being not necessarily in control of another person, like you said, but just basically understanding, like, your worth. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing that, like, listen, I'm as essential in this thing as you are. You know what I'm saying? So it can't be, it's not like if we're in a relationship, you're not more important than me. You know what I'm saying? We are equally as important. We're equals, we're partners, and we're, as a couple, as us being in a relationship, it is up to us to work toward a goal as far as whether that goal be marriage, whether that goal be whatever the case may be. I guess marriage would be considered the ultimate goal. But like, listen, I got just as much control and say so in this thing as you do. You know what I'm saying? Like your feelings and your thoughts aren't as more important than mine. There are times where I'll prioritize your feelings and your thoughts, but for the most part, it should be the same way. It should be give and take. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's just how I feel about when it comes to the power.
Absolutely. And let me give you one better, right?
I said I like going raw.
No, see what it is just because I had a situation recently, right? Now I'm gonna tell you something, right? I smoked for the better part of 40 years, right? for the better part of 40 years. And most recently, man, I smoke like a fucking chimney, yo. You wouldn't see me if you knew. Whoever know me, they could say I never saw Joe without a fucking cigarette in his mouth, right? But speaking about one element of the power, you know, I quit smoking about 5 weeks ago. Straight cold turkey, right? And the reason why I did this, right, it was because of someone else, someone who inspired me, which was a woman. And that woman told me that if you smoke, it's a deal killer. Don't even bother me. Don't even, right?
Right.
So guess what? I was like, I want you. So guess what? I quit smoking.
Right. I'm willing to change for you.
But see, that's a two-ply thing, right? It was good. It was a good thing that I was willing to make a change. That for the better. It wasn't that somebody was controlling me. I chose that. And what I mean about the power element is about mind over matter.
Right.
You know, either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And these are the things. These are the things that I try to convey to my children. You know, about discipline and focus. If you want something, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's all about working towards something. See, the best way I see the best way of receiving something to me is earning it, because for me, you get that fulfilling feeling like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I did this shit.
Sense of accomplishment.
Right. Instead of somebody just giving it to you, because then next thing you know, you're going to think your little ass is entitled.
Right.
You know what I mean? And let's get to those kind of bitches.
You
know what I mean?
Let's do it. Can't stand them.
I'm just saying, like I've been having the most illest times, you know, dealing with women until recently. And here it is, I'm 60 plus. And you got these women, and I really don't mess with the young girls, like, you know. Like I flirt with them. You know what I mean? Check their temperature. But for the most part, when I do flirt with them, I'm like, yo, I got a son that'll rock your shit.
The flirting is just to keep your knife sharp.
Yeah, exactly. But like, my thing is this, ladies. That camera over here. That's the one right there, Kim?
Yes.
Ladies, please. Chivalry is not dead. And that go for y'all too. And I'm saying that to say this. Let's have intelligent dialogue instead of fucking giving me a hard way to go. We don't have to give each other a hard way to go.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're my peer, right? If you're my peer, 55 to 60, right? Whatever, right? Cool, right? We get together. If you like me, if you want me, I want you. Let's do it. Let's fuck. Because you know what? Imagine you like me, you like this person for all this time. And you be like, oh my God, this is for the women, right? Oh, he is amazing. He is this and he is that. And then you like him so much, you be like, oh, baby, tonight is your night. I'm going to give it to you. And that shit is trash, yo. Trash. And I've heard about it. Believe me, you know, you got women that'll put motherfuckers out there with them pinkies, right? And it's all cool. But what I'm just saying is that, like, I think it's like, if we in that moment, right? And like, if you're single and I'm single, right? Like, all we gotta do is keep our business to ourselves. Like, let's fuck the first night we meet. And just, and don't tell no fuck. See, that's what, keep your mouth shut. You know, I mean, listen, I'm not trying to stir no shit up. You know what I mean? But anyway, y'all know that's what y'all want to fucking do anyway. You know what I mean? So stop fucking playing, especially with the elders. You know what I mean? We on the fucking clock. We on deck. You know, next time, I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow might bring. Shit, I might not be here. Let's do it. And by the way, if you choose me, all my shit work, and I can even get you some references. You know what I mean? Call in on the show and meet me. You know, Dr. Union can give you all my info if you want to reach me. Love is love. Love is love. You know what I mean? I'm just being comedic. All that was a joke, but a lot of it was true. A lot of it was true, but I just said it in a joking manner. But I don't mean no harm. It's all in good spirit. It's all in good spirit, and it's all in love. But like I said, it's a beautiful thing. You know, my wonderful, loving nephew. You know, so.
Oh man, I'm sweating.
But I know one thing is for sure, right? I know I have the ability. I got so much material to be a comedian because if I can make you laugh like that,
oh man,
oh shit, I could make it.
Oh
yo.
no, you good
I
money.
could make
I promise.
it, yo. And one day I'm gonna try. But you know what? What it is, I need some inspiration because if I go on the comedy circuit, right? You know, I won't be ashamed. I'll keep it real with people. When I come on stage, I was like, please, everybody, like, whatever I do and whatever I say, please, just fucking laugh profusely, because I need this job. I need this loot. And believe me, once I get big, I remember each and every one of y'all motherfuckers, and I hit y'all off. You know what I'm saying? Because I got some material. I got some real good material for y'all.
That's a fact.
You know, and it's all about life. And it's all about my life. It's all about the disappointments that I had. I'm going to tell y'all right now. Can I have a moment to express myself on your show, brother?
Please.
I had so many disappointments with bitches. And I'm going to call them bitches because they did me wrong. They shouldn't have did that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. I mean, like, I could understand, like, you wanting to break it off, but you didn't have to fucking do it like that. You know what I mean? It was like I was ambushed and shit. Like I was in Vietnam and Charlie just came from out of nowhere. That shit hurt. Yo, you wasn't there, I mean, when I cried. I didn't call you. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, look. I loved her. I fucking loved her. And she did this shit. I brought her to your house.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I introduced this bitch to the family. How could I make an error like that? Nifa said that shit. I told Nifa, no, leave her alone. No, Nene. No. But the good part is I recovered. But I remember. And so if I got this platform, right, I just want to just say.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I just want to just say that, you know, you fucked up leaving me. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm like, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, right? I hope you don't have no fucking luck. I mean, I don't want you to die or nothing, but I want you to fucking suffer, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Because you hurt me. I mean, real talk. Real talk, man.
What's up?
Yo, that shit had me crying, man. Like, I lost the power, yo. I lost the power, and then I was trying to regain it, and then I was like, I don't want it. You know, like, I went through a whole lot of mental shit. You know what I mean? I mean, thank God I didn't go to drugs. I didn't go to drinking. But I was like, damn.
I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I was like, damn, man. Like, I was like, you know what? This is good that this happened to me. Because I deserved it. I deserved it. And I'm going to tell you why. camera in my face, right? I'll tell y'all why, TV land. I deserved that shit because I gave that bitch the power. I was a servant of the flesh. That pussy was so good. That was some good pussy. Oh! I'd go fuck her today if she let me. Yo, man. But I learned, I've grown, I evolved. You know what I mean? Everything came back. So, and believe me, it's a lot of people out there that know, that understand. You know what I'm saying? Uh-huh. So that's what it was. And that's the reason why I say I deserved that heartbreak because I cherished that pussy. And that was my lesson. But now, I ain't chasing. I'm the magnet. Because you know what? I discovered self-love. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I looked in that mirror. I looked in my mirror at my lowest point. And I looked in that mirror and I told that person, right? I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good. Gonna make a difference. Gonna make it right. Man in the mirror. No, I told that man in the mirror that I love him. And that from now on, I'm gonna love him more than I can possibly love any other person. I'm gonna treat him right and I'm gonna love on him. And guess what? That's what it happened. With God's help and prayers and all of that. Listen, everybody, all of this was all in fun and jokes. I'm really not somebody that wish anything bad upon nobody because I can take accountability for all of my wrongdoings. But I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to give anybody that kind of power to dominate me. You know what I mean? Before I ever do that, you can best believe I will fucking turn my back on you and drop you like a bad fucking habit. You know what I mean? Because life is too short and it's too precious, especially when you have people in your life that treat you as though you're royalty. And that's what I have.
That's all right.
I have a daughter. And so
that's a fact.
I'm the greatest symbol of strength of a man to my daughter. And when my daughter come on this podcast or whatever, she gonna tell you, my pops shit ain't no other. You know? And that's what it's all about. It's so much about the people. It ain't about who you are and whatever. It's about the people you touch and how you touch them.
It's a fact.
So my greatest claim to fame is that I build myself up to be that person that when somebody see me, they be like, oh shit, Uncle Joe, what's up, Joe? Or my nieces and Uncle Joe, all right, yeah, Uncle Joe here. Opposed to, oh shit, everybody, hide your shit. Here come that nigga, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful for being here and you allowing me to get my shit off, man. You know what I mean? This was almost better than busting a nut. You know what I'm saying, yo?
almost.
But for real talk, like all is good, man. It's nothing in this world greater than to be blessed. Right. And to know it and to acknowledge it. And understand where it came from. So
Real quick to speak to the example that you were saying, right? Mm-hmm. What I got from that was, and what a lot of people need to understand is, it's okay. Self-love is many things. You know what I'm saying? Like making a conscious effort to not over-prioritize someone else's thoughts and feelings, over-prioritizing their thoughts and feelings over yours it's dangerous because it's like, they'll call you selfish for prioritizing your mental health because, like, at the end of the day, when they leave, that's all you left with. You know what I'm saying? And nothing is forever. And two, like, it ain't no guarantee you're gonna be here tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's either by if you choose to leave today, or if you may one day choose to leave for whatever reason, one reason or another. You know what I'm saying? So it's not selfish to prioritize your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Be it your mental health, be it to your happiness, your peace, your space, and things like that. People will call you selfish for making yourself a priority. That's not selfish. It's selfish for them to say that that's selfish because like at the end of the day, like when the lights go out, when the smoke clears, when the curtain come down, all you left with is yourself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, oh my God, Uncle Joe.
Yo, you know what? It's something, right? I gotta piggyback off what you just said.
Please do.
You know, all you is left with yourself, right? And when you just said that, the first thing that came to my mind is when you left with yourself, right? Can you live with it? Can you live with yourself? I could live with myself. Thank you, God, because I did all my fucked up shit when I was young.
Right.
But I paid for that shit. Because let me tell y'all what I believe God does. You could sin 1,000 times, and God will forgive you 1,000 times. Don't mean you're gonna get away with it.
Word up.
So many times when I was going through shit that was fucking me up, yo, I was like, okay. If your wrath is upon me for the discretion or the act that I did that was against your will, right? And that you saw and nobody else saw. If your wrath is upon me, I beg of your mercy. But let your will be done, but I beg of your mercy.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what I learned about that, what I learned about in my spirituality, right, is your intent. Right. It's what's on your mind. Because I personally believe that the Spirit of God is your conscience. That's what I believe for me.
Yeah.
For me. And I don't debate nobody's spirituality. I don't debate nobody's religion. But when I get into my thoughts and myself and things like that, I think about the first foundation that my mother built in me. And that was teaching me the difference of right and wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then everything evolves from that. You know, like I said, when I was a kid, like I was born with a big, caring, loving heart. But growing up, I did some really, really mischievous things. Thank God I never did anything that was so fucking egregious that it was to the point of no return, like unforgivable. You know what I mean? Like, I never killed nobody. I never maimed nobody. I never molested nobody. I never raped nobody. And I never participated in no homosexual shit. Okay? Now, for the LGBT community, like, I'm not being offensive, but I'm just saying, shit, no, not me. I respect. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I even bought a LGBT cup and didn't know because it had the word love on it, right? And I was telling your cousin, Barry's daughter, Zanaya, you met Zanaya?
No.
All right, that's Barry's daughter.
Uh-huh.
And we call her Pretty. And I was like, Pretty, you like my cup? And Pretty said, Uncle Joe, you gay? Because it had the word love and it had the rainbow colors. But I just thought it was nice. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But, and no, I still got the cup. You know what I'm saying? But that was my first lesson.
Uncle Joe is an ally. He kept the cup because it's like, he loves and respects everybody.
I ain't no ally, no.
Not like...
No, I'm not an ally. No, I'm not an ally. Let me clear that shit up. I'm not an ally, but I'm respectful.
Yeah, no, wait, listen.
All right. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
All being an ally means is that, like, listen, I don't hate you, I don't dislike you. You do what you do. I have respect for what you do, but you do it do it. You feel me? Like, I'm not gonna bash you for doing it. You know what I'm saying? And if God forbid you was in danger, I would either help in whatever way I could, be it alert the authorities or things of that nature.
Right.
So you don't necessarily have to be a member of the community.
Okay,
to get out.
because you won't be seeing me at no parades or none of that shit, none of y'all parties and none of that. But like I said, it's a bunch of people that I know that's gay that I'm cool with. But they already know. Listen, as long as you don't fuck with me, you know what I mean? We could chill, like we could be chill. And I'm talking about like we could chill in the family backyard and shit. Nowhere fucking private. You know what I'm saying? Yo. You know, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Yeah. So back to that. Damn man. I'm getting so old. I'm forgetting where I left off at. But like I said, for the most part, it ain't nothing but love. Nothing but love for everybody. And like I said, I like to keep it fun. That's all. Everybody knows my heart, you know.
Shorty said, Uncle Joe, you gay? That's funny as hell.
Yeah, she said, yeah, Uncle Joe, you know, you're not gay, are you, Uncle Joe? And I was like, nah. And she said, well, that's the first time I realized what the colors was, the rainbow.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. That's they
know
flag.
what I mean?
That's they set.
yeah.
They got a bunch of other flags now too, though. So
Right.
like
Well,
that
see-
bunch of flags. Flags mean different stuff.
Right. And see, I don't know nothing. I have no knowledge of that shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Really don't want none.
Right? Nah,
You know?
I understand.
But, you know, I respect y'all as long as y'all don't fuck with me. You know what I'm saying? And moving along, you know, and like I said about about me, I just thank God that like all of my like bad stuff was like when I was younger. And right now I'm so grateful to reach the level and the age that I am. You know what I mean? Like to be blessed to see like actually touching on never imagining to live to see my whole family gone. And right now, right, like I'm the closest thing to your father. Like your father left y'all with me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He lives through me for y'all.
For sure.
That's why every time Nifa see me, your sister, she come and give me the biggest hug because she said, Uncle Joe, every time I look at you, you just want to make me cry because you look just like my dad. I said, that's because, baby, he's living through me for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm representing,
For sure.
you know? And so are y'all, man. Y'all lifting me up. Y'all keeping me. Y'all extending my life because it's all about feeling good and feeling well. You know what I mean? Mentally, spiritually, and physically. You know? And I'm thankful for that.
You spoke about earlier. You spoke about letting go and awareness and everything being love. Like at what point did you start to settle in with the idea of letting go? Because it's important. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it was when you were younger. Maybe it started to really settle in as you got older. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people like to put a time frame on stuff. So it's like, when did that thought process really start to settle in for you?
Well, I could be quite honest with you. About 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, word. So see, yeah.
Let me tell you, it took me 60 years to understand the concept. Great question. I mean, right? Letting go. Right? Not letting go was my worst enemy, was my worst fault. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I always had that sense of, there was a time when I used to feel as though I needed somebody to validate me.
Right.
How wrong I was, bro. How wrong I was. But I'm grateful that that I survived and I came to an understanding at a point in my life where I'm still functioning. Like I'm not walking around with no walker. Like I could run, I could go play some ball. I mean, I can't. I can only play for about 5 minutes, but shit, I could still rock. I could still shoot.
Right.
Like I said, like I'm still physically capable. Right? Like my daughter say, Dad, you 64, but you move like you 34. Thank you, baby. I'll take that. I'll run with that.
Right.
You know, and if somebody's trying to snatch her, I could run a motherfucker down too now.
Got it. Right.
You know what I mean? Because I still wear my kicks. You know what I mean? You know, shit, I still, right? So I'll run, yeah. But nah, letting go, learning the importance of it and the true meaning of it beyond its surface. Like how I used to get, man, like, damn, Joe, let that shit go, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I made a joke about the chick that broke up, fuck you, bitch, and all that. I ain't get over it yet. I got over that. I got way over you. I let you go. And when I let you go, there was nothing but blessings that came my way. There was nothing. You was in my way. Because I was going through everything that I was going through because the universe was saying, yo, this is not for you. So the more you fuck with it, the more we gonna make you suffer.
Right.
And then when I let it go, blessings just started raining down. Where other women came, like finer ones. I'm like, damn.
Right.
Damn, I should have did this alone. Why couldn't I do this shit 30 years ago? If I would have did this shit 30 years ago, I probably would have had 30 kids and shit. You know what I mean? You be with all your cousins and shit. You be like, yo, I can't fit all y'all motherfuckers in here, But no, really seriously talking, letting go is to just, like they say let go and let God, but I mean, God is already going to do his work because it's already ordained. It's already written for you. But let go and let you. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do. You know what I mean? Grow. Allow yourself to grow and evolve.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And like I said, what I've learned, what I took all that shit as a lesson that it ain't gonna never catch me out here like that again. Because like I said, I'm the magnet, right? I will never chase another woman alive, right? Now, I have somebody new in my life, and I really like her. I really think that she's for me. But we had our first spat already, right? We went somewhere, right? We went to a thing, and she introduced me to her friends. I don't know her friends. And see, now, for now, I mean, you know me. I could be the life of the party.
Right.
I mean, Dr. Union, right? I can be the life of the party.
Right.
Right, because we know each other. But if you take me somewhere with you and introduce me, I'll be quiet as a mouse. Like, Dr. Union, why your uncle so quiet? Right? So,
real quick, a lot of people say the same thing about me. I could be the life of the party, but like if I'm somewhere I'm unfamiliar, you don't get a lot out of me.
Right. And so I'm there, right? So she introduces me to, now I don't know these people. So I'm just staying in my lane.
Right.
So after the event, she was upset. I was like, well, you didn't engage and when you introduced me to your people and everything. I gotta pause. Let me pause for 1 second.
Yeah.
Don't you know that quick I forgot what I was on?
I forgot to. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Back to it. I forgot where we was. I forgot where we was at.
I was getting ready to say something profound too. But you
Yeah,
know
I
what?
don't know.
That's what happened when, you know what I mean? Damn.
I done started doing something else, so I got kind of sidetracked.
Man, I was getting ready. It'll come back, but
Yeah.
was we talking about letting go?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, let's speak to
that's what happens when you get up here, like when you get this age, y'all.
let's talk about You said 64, right? 64 years old. Like, life, you've lived a life. You know what I'm saying? We've seen people that that haven't been as fortunate to make it that long. Like, obviously you don't know all the keys to success, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody does.
Right.
But like, what can you attribute to one of your main factors as to your longevity and your ability to stay so grounded and, you know what I'm saying? Just to stay so positive and upbeat.
Excellent question. Simple answer. People, places, and things, bro.
Okay.
Be careful of the company you keep and how long you keep it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't getting positive vibes, if you ain't getting nothing that's going to add to you, cut out. You know what I mean? You don't need nobody to see, I'm glad you said that, because this is what kills me, especially about relationships. You gotta have money. You gotta have a car and all. You know what? Y'all is the ones that y'all can keep stepping when y'all come to me with that shit. Because first of all, I ain't got no goddamn money. All right? I ain't got none. So this is probably gonna get out to like maybe 500 million people. So don't choose me if you looking for money because you ain't getting shit. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't coming for yours either. But I believe in infrastructure. I believe in meeting somebody and we can talk, right? Like, see, I'm back from them days. Like, I'm not gonna fuck with you if I don't like you. You know what I'm saying? You know?
I remember what we was talking about now. I'm sorry.
Oh, what was that?
We was talking about you being a life of the party and not really.
Right.
That's what we was talking about. But go ahead, let's finish up here.
Yeah. But that money, that money shit, like, right? The true way for me is that I like you and you like me, and let's plant the seed and grow from that and nourish that garden. This is real talk. This ain't no comedy shit. This is real love right here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be bothered with somebody. I don't want to be bothered with you if you all on this, oh, well, I need my nails done, or, you going to help me pay my rent or whatever. Yo, I'm going to help you pay your rent, all right. I'm going to help you pay it, all right. But let's get to like each other and let's plant the seed to love. Now, back to being the life of the party and being quiet, right? I was with my friend, and she was on me about, well, you didn't engage or whatever and everything. So she was like, well, it just seemed like you wasn't interested or you didn't engage or whatever. Is that who you are? Is that who you are? So I was like, are you done? Right? I said, 100% uncut, pure. That's exactly who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? If I don't know you, I ain't got shit to say to you. You know what I mean? Because in this time and date, right? I go back to what my mama taught me. Speak when you fucking spoken to. You know what I mean? If I came in on the set and if I was familiar with these people from past relations or whatever, hey, what's up, dude? Hey, how's everything going? Da 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 da.
Right.
But I don't know you from a can of paint. And then you never asked me, yo, shit, motherfucker, maybe I thought your ass was weird.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, King?
For sure.
So,
for sure.
I wasn't being disrespectful.
Nah.
And then, guess what, y'all? Here's a little treat from me. I felt like, okay, sweetheart, if I offended you and your friends, I will be the first to apologize. And when I talk to your friends again, I'll apologize to them to let them know that, listen, I didn't mean to be, make you feel uncomfortable or be antisocial. But, that's just how I am. If I don't know anyone, you know what I mean? I'm not going to engage unless somebody engage with me. I don't never come into somebody's house and come into somebody else's house and start running my mouth like I know them and all that shit, and them people looking at me like, fuck this nigga out my house. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when you show me love, oh, you're gonna get the best of me. you're gonna get the very best. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And that's what it's all about. And that's just how it goes with me. I'm strictly, completely old school.
Right.
You know, the other day, one of my friends asked me, we were somewhere, and they was like, yo, Joe, like, what kind of music you like? You know what I'm saying? Yo, King, what kind of music I like, King? Who my dude, King?
I know you like Mike for sure.
Oh,
I know
Michael
that's your
Jackson,
guy.
baby.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
your guy.
But they was asking me what kind of, you know, I was like, I like jazz, contemporary jazz, you know. I like old school soul R&B, right? But when it comes down to like dance music or whatever, like I don't feel house music. That's just not me.
Yeah, I don't like
that
it
ain't
either.
my era. I love motherfucking disco. That's my era. Bring me back to the goddamn 70s and early 80s. Throw that shit on it out, Boogie. Yo, I told my daughter, that's what I'm going
Boogie.
to call her ass and cuss out. Yo, I went to a spot last Friday. They was playing my shit. I was in that
What?
motherfucker getting my shit off, yo. I'm going to tell you, I ain't danced like that in 2 or 3 decades.
Word.
But I was in there getting my shit loose. They was playing all my shit, yo. You know what I mean? Sugar Hill Gang, all that shit. You know what I mean? So,
Sound like you was at Marlowe's or some shit. I'm like,
huh?
Where you know the name of the spot?
Hold on. I could tell you right now. I could tell you right directly now.
I want to go there.
It's in Union.
Okay.
It's
Not
a
far.
seafood spot.
Like, wait. I thought it's like a bar or like a club or something like that.
It's like it's like a bar. Yeah. Aloha Crab.
Oh, that's
They-
right. That's right here.
Yo.
That's not far from me.
My man was playing my shit. And Noah, I even requested something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he played that shit, man. I didn't give a fuck. I was on the floor by myself. I was boogieing. I was getting
They
my
got
shit
dance
off,
floor
yo.
there?
Yeah.
I ain't know that. I never been
They
in
got
there.
the music and they got the bar like a horseshoe, like.
Okay.
And then they even got tables. It's like a little small Applebee's like type
Okay,
thing,
okay,
like
okay.
the horseshoe thing, bar. And then they got the tables around. Then they got the DJ stand, and then they got the little gazebo where you can go and dance on the floor. I was up on Bonner, my daughter was taping me. She was like, "Damn, I ain't seen my pops boogie like that in a long time
Right.
since we was living on Monticello."
Oh,
You
word.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, life is life, love is love, and just all of the best. I always say, I come in peace. I am not the enemy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'll never come in the room trying to think or act like I'm the smartest one. You know what I mean? Or the wisest one. Your knucklehead nephew, right? I had to explain to him, right? And y'all, see, like I said, you and Barry and y'all caught on because see, y'all's mentality is fixated on it. I had to tell this kid, your cousin, right? I ain't gonna tell you which one. But anyway, I had to explain to him, listen, dude, we can laugh and joke and all that shit. But it's one thing I don't ever want you to forget. I'm not your fucking peer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't fucking come to me like I'm one of your fucking boys and all of that shit.
All right.
Well, what you trying to say, that you smarter than us? See, that's why I'm telling you, motherfucker, I'm not your peer. Because that was a stupid fucking question right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why. No. I'm not, it ain't about me being smart. Because
Right.
y'all smarter than me. You know what I mean? Like right now, in so many ways, Dr. Union, You know what I mean? Like the student has become the teacher. Look, like
In some ways, yeah.
if I wanted, like, see, here it is, I'm retired, and I'm like, yo, Dr. Union, like, I want to branch, I want to get into this shit that you get in, because I could probably be a multi-trillionaire,
Absolutely.
right, with mine. So teach me this game right here, right? And you could, like, I have no idea how to do this, and you could teach. You have become the teacher, is what I'm saying.
Respectfully, yeah.
You know what I mean? But see, you know exactly what I'm saying as far as, like, I am not your peer, Dr. Union. Like, you know, you are my nephew. So I'm always going to conduct myself as your uncle and respect you as a man, as a grown man.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you also, of course, naturally going to do the same.
100%.
You know what I mean? Show that love for me because I am your uncle.
Right.
You know what I mean? I am your elder. And I'm not demanding, like, hey, bow to me.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
None of that kind of shit. You know what I mean? Just know where your lane is.
For sure.
Stay in your lane.
Most of us recognize it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can see it. Like me and Nifa. Like when we don't curse around you.
Right.
And when we do slip up, we might say
Yeah.
a word or two, and we'll all
That's right.
apologize.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Because we
That's
do
right.
recognize that it's a line there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's okay to cross that line in the sense that, like, we're having adult conversations, but at the same time, we got to get back on our side of the line, knowing that we do have the relationship of uncle and nephew or uncle and niece and that, things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I 100% understand that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because y'all are all grown now, and trust me, y'all have y'all platform. You know what I mean? If I'll give y'all the floor. You know what I mean? I'll pass the torch to y'all, but I'm still in the lookout tower.
For sure.
If you fuck up, I'm gonna chastise you.
100%. As
You know what I'm
should.
saying?
Right.
So, and know what? That could go for me too if you see you. But see, that's the whole thing about it. See, I have, since I was a teenager, since y'all was babies, it was gonna be that way for you. Y'all ain't gonna never have to come for me. You probably would have had to came for me that day you was outside the firehouse when that was when I was ripping and shit. And, you know, cause you know, King, I always acknowledge you, right? But you wasn't gonna see this shit. You know what I mean? This wasn't for your eyes, man. Cause I just know you could, Uncle Joe, man. What the fuck you doing, man? You know. That would have been the first time you'd have cursed and shit and meant it. Oh, shit.
Oh man.
I'm surprised you didn't see the car speed by. Like, damn, that motherfucker was driving fast and shit.
Oh man. I just want to say thank you, man. As always, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Every time we have a conversation, you always, no matter what kind of day I'm having, you always make my days better. Right?
Likewise.
And I want to say thank you for everything that you've provided me with. You know what I'm saying? Like, not monetarily, not physical, not tangible things, but the things that money can't buy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Only the things that a loving father could teach his son.
Yeah.
Only the things that a man could teach a boy. And I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for teaching me and continuing to teach me and continuing to guide me and always holding me accountable and just always being the absolute effing best, bro.
And we'll always support you.
Word, and I appreciate it a million%.
That's right.
I can't wait to edit this. I'm gonna edit it today. I want to get it out to the people first thing in the morning. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely gonna happen. If you could leave the listeners of the Union Street Podcast with just a little tidbit, one last piece of advice, what would that thing be?
That's a good one. Love yourself so you can love others, because that's what we need. amongst us as people, our people. You know what I mean? And it don't matter, you know, like Mike said, you know, it doesn't matter if you black or white. You know what I'm saying? But I just believe in when you learn how to love yourself and understand that, you know, you can extend that. And that's what I would like to live. That's what I would like to leave people, you know, for my last words on the cast right now. It's just all about love, man. Just extend it. If you got it, which you do, share it. That's all.
For sure. Real quick, this just jumped into my heart. I don't know. It's a saying that I've heard before. I can't quite place where I've heard it before, but I've heard it, and it's fitting in this very moment because, like you said, when I first came into your life, not first when I came into your home, you wasn't prepared for that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have any children. You know what I'm saying? So it's a saying. Somebody said it. I don't know where I heard it again. They said, God doesn't call the qualified, he qualifies the called. Right? And you was called upon to be something for me that maybe not necessarily you were qualified to be in that very moment, but you grew to be qualified and be more than able to be the thing, the person, the example, the man that I needed in that moment, and continue, and you grew to be exceptional at it and exemplify everything that a man should want to be for his family and his friends, just in general, period. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say thank you for that, man. Like, I'll never be able to repay you for the things that you've provided me with and the life that you provided me with, because, again, I'm going to tell you this every time, and you know it, because we all say it. Yeah. We all saying it because it's the truth. None of this is possible without you. There's no Union Street. There's no 500 Questions. There's no my children. There's none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you instilled in me a sense of responsibility, a sense of duty, a sense of a man. Excuse my language. You instilled in me man shit that I got to step up. I got to do what I got to do. I got to be responsible. You know what I'm saying? I got to make my own money the right way. You know what I'm saying? Again, thank you for that, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. Let me just say one last thing too. You know, like, thank you, and it just really, like, just gives me confirmation, you know, for you to make that testimony about, like my daughter helps me, see, cause like, not to be disrespectful, right? Like, I don't know, it seems like I'm blind to everything, right? Because it's not something, it wasn't something that I was doing for me. It was something that I didn't know I was doing, that I was doing for somebody else. Mm-hmm. You follow me what I'm saying? Like, yeah. like Barry told me, your cousin Barry said, Unc, you can't see it because it's radiating from you, you know? So, and like I was saying, I was just being myself. So I just want to say, man, you know, thank you. And I'm so grateful to have been that to you and the rest of, you know, my children and everybody else. And so, I'm just grateful. I'm just so grateful that God put me in this place.
For sure. As are we. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know you're more than welcome back anytime. Anytime you want to come back here and you want to sit down, you want to have a conversation for the Union Street podcast listeners, you are more than welcome. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think that my next episode is going to be, I'm going to get my anger out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. Like, you know, it's going to be a complete comedy episode with some real shit, with some real, you know, stuff. But yeah, I just, you know, it's like, I didn't do it this time, but next show, it's only going to be a half hour for me, but I'm going to get my anger. It's going to be my anger. I'm going to get it off my chest. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. I want to say thank y'all for showing up. Every time I show up, y'all show up, and I appreciate it. Y'all really getting them numbers up. Y'all getting them subs up. Y'all getting our downloads up. I appreciate everything that y'all doing for us, and we are well on our way to our next milestone. You know what I'm saying? So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Union Street, the podcast, where we have the most interesting conversations on the internet with the most interesting people in the world. I've been Union and Jackson. I sat down with my Uncle Joe. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.